Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast, adding games both new and old to your backlog, one slightly inappropriate episode at a time. My name is Christian, and put two pieces of bread on either side of my face and call me an idiot sandwich. Joining me today is Taylor.
And the monsters are coming.
You know, you've recently been pretty dramatic with your intro quips. You know, You're really using that diaphragm. You're kind of projecting.
I'm trying to set a certain level of energy right at the top.
Yeah. And I think it's working. This show should be on Broadway within 2 to 3 years, for sure, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selling out stadiums, live show.
Exactly. This week, we're going to be talking about Monsters Are Coming and Masters of Albion. But first, Taylor, what's new?
So, I saw a piece of news this couple days ago that really got me down. The developer Spiders is shutting down. They are the ones that just released Greedfall 2 only like 6 weeks ago. And it's not because Greedfall 2 didn't sell well or anything. It's that the publisher that owns them, Nacon, is insolvent, and the court is requiring them to either sell their assets or shut them down. And there was not a buyer for Spiders in time. So they are just getting shut down. But they've been making some really cool and interesting games for a very long time now. Like, you know, their history goes back like 15, 20 years.
They're an internal development studio for Nacon.
They were bought by Nacon at some point.
It.
Yeah,
okay.
They were independent for a while and then got acquired by Nacon. And
so I saw this on social media and I kind of felt bad because I had never heard of this developer. You know, I was uncultured and I probably should have, since I work in gaming and I love games. So Greedfall 2, any other kind of standout titles that we liked from Spiders?
Off the top of my head,
give me the top 10 actually.
Like Cybermancy was them, as well as obviously Greedfall 1.
Right.
Which those three I really enjoyed. But they did, Cybermancy, I believe, and that one is probably my favorite of the bunch.
Okay.
And I'm forgetting the rest off the top of my head. But basically, they were a major player in the quote unquote Eurojank space. They often, most of their games are kind of very ambitious, and they didn't have the resources to fully get it done or the time to like fully develop all their systems. So you get these games that are a little janky but have really cool ideas in them. Okay. And sometimes they're more playable than others.
I feel like this applies directly to Masters of Albion. Like, you might as well be talking about that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so
sad.
Anyway, and I will say too, Eurojank is a title that sounds derogatory, but is generally meant with love.
Beloved, right.
By the fans of that genre. But maybe it's not the best name.
Okay.
But anyway, the other thing is that Valve finally announced the Steam controller details. It's going to be $99.
Hey, did any of us guess this? Did we go back? Because we had that poll. It would have been good to...
But I think this is higher than our guesses were.
Right. $99 does seem pricey, for sure.
It's pretty... It's there in between the price of a like standard Xbox controller or PlayStation controller and cheaper than their like pro models.
Got it.
So it's kind of right in the middle.
Nice.
As far as controllers go.
Be picking this up? I see you say it has magnetic charging.
It does. Yeah, it has like a little puck that you will put on the bottom of it so
Okay,
it can
sweet.
charge without having to plug in a cable.
Okay, yeah.
And there's wireless, of course, but things like magnetic thumbsticks.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know, just a bunch of controller features. I didn't want to list all of them here, but
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I think I will end up picking one up eventually. But currently, I don't have $99 to just throw at a gaming controller I don't especially need right now.
I had a colleague who said it was the best controller he's ever felt in his hands. And I'm not getting paid by Valve. That is an honest opinion that I've heard in real life. I've never held any of I haven't played the
I did have the first Steam
Game
controller.
Box. And did you like it? Because the first one was, as far as I can remember, huge and weird.
Yeah, it was big and weird. I have it somewhere here. I wish I could show our listeners, but
Yeah.
it had a trackpad D-pad. So it did both,
It's
and
ahead of its time.
was not great at the D-pad part.
Yeah.
And the trackpad itself was not as sensitive as they are these days.
Right.
So it was a little bit difficult. It also only had the one thumbstick, so you would use the thumbstick, and then the other thumbstick would be the trackpad.
Okay.
And that took some
feels
getting
bad.
used to.
That
Yeah.
feels weird. I wish. Okay.
But
I
there
grew
were
up.
aspects of it I loved.
I grew up with a. Great. Now I can't remember the name. A ball mouse. Surely it has a official name.
The mouse that you don't move.
Yes. You just
Yes.
track
It just
with
has
your
a
thumb.
that's a trackball mouse.
Yeah, I swear by it. It was so easy. If I'm a kid. I'm dirty and messy, and I remember like eating things and getting like chip grease on the ball, and then it takes like a second or two to clean, and you're not moving it around. And I thought my reaction time was pretty quickly. Like I felt like I could get everywhere that I needed to on the
Right.
screen. If I was playing FPSs, I didn't feel, I mean, as a kid, that I was at any disadvantage. And is there some reason why those aren't available everywhere now? Is it just because people didn't like them, or is there
They
some
went
like
out of fashion.
mechanical? Yeah.
In lieu, like they went out of fashion along with mice that had balls at the bottom.
Right. Yeah.
But they did last a little longer than those. But I think that they just kind of, people weren't buying them much anymore. And in my head, I always associated them with like grannies or office ladies. I don't know why, but
Because you don't even have to
like
move your
my
arm anymore.
The
You're just
librarian at school used one, So,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know why they're not as widely available. I just think people don't use them much.
I would love to
anymore.
pick one up again and see. I remember there was a bunch of buttons like right where you had your thumb on the ball, and then right above the ball there was like 5 or 6 buttons, like one of those MMO mice. And that was so convenient to like, I don't know, just manage everything.
Yeah, there's definite advantages to them. I think the precision aspect of them, I think if you were to get one today and try to play a shooter, you would very likely struggle a lot with precision.
Yeah.
Since, I don't know, but
my Warcraft 3 control groups used to be on the top. I always felt like it was an advantage, but I never was very good at that game, so maybe it was a handicap.
Well, plus you were just used to it. Like,
I was trained.
That was what, your first type of mouse you used? So
yeah.
I don't know. I watched my cousin, like when he was much younger, even like use a tablet. And he is playing like Roblox on this tablet and doing precision platforming on a touch screen in a way that I could never,
right?
Because that was his first input device. So it was like
he's binded to the tablet functionality now. And maybe I'm binded to, maybe I've just figured out something about me. If you are out there and you use whatever this mouse is called, a ball mouse, maybe, I think, Let me know if you like it and if you think it's superior, and if you have an extra one lying around that I could buy off you.
There's a couple other things from that era that I wish were more common, like the ergonomic keyboards with the split.
Right.
So that way, each hand was a little more comfortable.
Taylor, those are for serial killers. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Those are
so
the ball
even had
mouse,
ones
completely normal.
they even had ones that
Keyboard.
were literally 2 pieces.
Oh, that is funky.
Yeah.
I feel like you could really relax and, it's like sprawl out. Your hands
Sprawl
are
out,
like,
exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, there used to be so many more funky designs.
Yeah, we're all standardized now. We're all in a box.
Now everyone wants the smallest possible keyboard with the fewest buttons.
I tried to get out of a box. I went to my first Toastmasters. That's what's new with me. Toastmasters is sort of like improv for serious boardroom adults. You practice your like group presentation skills. It's semi-formal. Like you have to start every speech with hello. Thank you for welcoming me, fellow Toastmasters. This is what I'm going to talk about. I joined on a challenge day. So what happened is 6 people were given the exact same prompt, and there was judges and spectators. I was a guest, so I was a spectator in the room. And so I watched 6 separate people come into this room who had no prior knowledge of the prompt and answer the same question. And how they each answered it was so fascinating to me. Human communication and language is just interesting regardless, but it was like I was in a lab, and some people were louder and more boisterous and they used their hands more, and some people were more quiet and subdued and they relied on like a storytelling element or like a personal emotional connection to convey what they wanted. And I just have never had that experience of in person being able to see, oh, I think what this person did was a lot more effective than what this person did.
Right. Getting to see all of these styles like one after another.
Exactly. Yeah. It's someone I met at a park because our daughters were playing and invited me. We've since become friends. And so that was my introduction to it. I've always wanted to go to a Toastmasters, and it happens at 6:45 a.m. in the morning, which is perfect for me because that is from 5:30 to 7 is my time, my sacred time. Usually I try and go to the gym, or if I don't make it to the gym, just go on a walk or, do something outside. So I think this might become a habit. Toastmasters, Christian at Toastmasters.
There we go.
Hey.
So does it cost money?
It does cost money per year, but not as a guest. I don't know how long I can guest for. Although someone did come up to me pretty quickly after and like, hey, can I get your email? Like, I think they're good at getting people into the paid part, which is good because the whole thing probably costs money to run and they need people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Although I've definitely heard of like improv groups or programs that are a bit culty as well. So hopefully it's not one of those.
Hopefully not. I bought a new pair of pants the other day and the guy said, welcome to the cult. I said, what? He's like, don't worry, it's a good cult. And I was like, I don't know if I like that. Anyways, this show isn't about cults or improv or Toastmasters. It's about video games. And Taylor, what did you play this week?
So this week I played Monsters Are Coming, Rock and Road. And I'm not really sure if the rock and road part is actually part of the title or not. It seems to depend on where you're looking.
Okay.
But yeah, Monsters Are Coming. And what is Monsters Are Coming? It's a tower defense action game. So you control a character that moves around freely. And you gather resources and fight monsters, find upgrades in the world, environment, etc. And then you have your tower, which is essentially like a giant moving platform. So there's a base castle bit that it starts as, and it has like a basic tower on it already, so that can shoot at enemies, but it's fairly defenseless to start with, and it just kind of slowly moves forward, in just the one direction. Although things can block its path and stop it, So you have to go clear that away, like trees and rocks get in the way. So you have to run up with your guy
They're
and
always in the
like
way. Whenever I'm going for a
quickly
walk and
break
trying to
them.
go in a straight line from one destination to another, I'm like, what are all these trees and rocks doing? And you mean I have
I
to
know.
weave left and right? Like, what's that about? I thought,
It's just, yeah, you'd think nature would be more accommodating, but
yeah. Did God make this place on purpose? Seems like just threw a bunch of.
so this big platform you've got, you can then add buildings and towers to
Okay.
that, and so like you get a grid that pops up of like where you can build it out. And
Yes.
some buildings add a road or a path, so that
Okay.
that bridge out, and some don't, so they have to be attached to something already there. And then you get adjacency bonuses
I love
as
those.
well.
One of the best
So
mechanic in any video game
right,
is I put something down next to something else and I get like 10% speed. Oof. It hits me right in the
it's
back of
great.
right in the
And
amygdala.
there are like there's a when you're placing buildings, there is a certain a number of each element that you want to like max out. Like you want to have 5 fire tokens or whatever, and 5
Okay.
necromancy ones.
And that is an adjacency bonus too, if you nail
Right.
that.
So when I place like a flaming tower that shoots out a jet of flame, that on its own counts as 1 fire, right? But then if I place down another fire tower or a fire element building next to it, I then get an additional 1. So now I'm up to 3 fire instead of 2.
Okay.
If that
Is
makes
this
sense.
is this the new math? I mean, I believe you. It doesn't
Yeah.
make mathematical sense to me, but sure.
And then
1
there's
plus
also
1 is 3.
things like there's buildings you can place that every adjacent tower to it gets 50% more damage. So there's strategy in how you build out your like
Platform.
platform or fortress or whatever you want to call it. And I love that part. Like you said, like adjacency bonuses, it's just one of my favorite mechanics.
They just
and
feel
I
good.
love that. Although it's also a roguelite.
Oh, man.
So
no. Is that good or bad?
it's good, but also the random element makes planning and strategizing your platform a little more difficult, because when you level up, you get 3 choices, right? Or 5 choices. And that's what you're limited to in terms of what you're able to build. Although there's also, you can spend money to re-roll that, so you get new random options. And that kind of makes it harder to plan out a specific kind of build you want to go for, since you may not end up getting more necromancy towers for quite a while, and then you end up needing to build some other type of offensive tower over there in the meantime to protect your flank. So
Do you ever play a roguelite and you think, wow, this game is really fun. The only bad part about it is that I have to keep playing to unlock stuff. I wish I just had everything.
All the things.
Because, this is like psychology, right? Like we love to unlock things. We love to progress. Like it makes sense. And often it's very satisfying to do that. But there's some games where I'm just like, okay, actually, the game part of this game is fun enough that I just want the freedom to build my character.
Choose whatever I want from the start. I agree with you, and I think it depends too on what is gated behind progression. So in this game, there are actual buildings and towers and different versions of towers that are gated behind progression, or they're gated behind objectives to meet. So like I unlocked a new version of a ballista by having walked a certain distance with a full inventory trail, which is an objective that was never shown to me anywhere. So I had no idea that was a goal that I was trying to accomplish in the first place.
Right.
And then I was like, well, I wish I could have had that ballista tower from the start. That would have been cool. And so like, yeah, locking all these buildings, and it's a big list of buildings that are locked behind progression. That to me is disappointing in a sense of like, yeah, just give me the full variety of them. Like, or let me access them more quickly. Because they're cool and I want to use them, but I don't necessarily want to sink 60 hours into this game to get to the point that I can use them, because by that point I'm bored of it and want to move on.
Right.
So,
and what I sometimes find in some of these games, I should be specific. I should give an exact example. I think synthetic comes to mind, where it's like you unlock a greater array of items, but the ones that are close to the beginning are actually really fun. And so it's cool to unlock different weapons and powers, and then you get randomly assigned them. And that also grows your pool of what's randomly assigned. So it's like if you find something you really like and you never get it, and you're getting like these kind of lackluster unlocks, it's kind of like, oh, great, I unlocked the shotgun that has a really weird a bullet spray that could be useful on one level. I wish I didn't. But
yeah, I wish I had none. One thing that is great about this game is that you can turn these things on and off, so that they can either be in the random pool or not.
Oh, that's good.
Particular run. And
to be fair, I think in Synthetic 2, they added that where you could turn them on and off.
I think that's an important thing, because otherwise, your pool becomes too bloated with stuff, and you often end up with only disappointing options.
Too many balls in the pool. Sometimes there's too many.
But yeah, so there's some kind of pros and cons to the roguelike part of it. I do find it really fun to just run around and with my little guy mine the rocks and cut down the trees and like find a spooky castle that I get an upgrade from or a new weapon from.
Can you briefly talk about the graphics? Because when you said trees and rocks, I'm imagining, all I can imagine in my head is Warcraft 3.
So this is, first of all, it's important to know it's kind of a top-down, not fully top-down, but nearly top-down view.
Okay.
And the graphics are kind of a little cutesy in a way, like or cartoony.
Okay.
In a way. So they're not like trying to go for photorealism. They actually do kind of remind me of Warcraft 3 trees, but it's much smoother and greater fidelity and stuff.
But okay.
The art style
You've sold me. I want to play the game.
Yeah. One of the things that it does do though is that you have to continuously run back to your platform, so you never want to let it get too far away, because you have to deposit the resources you've picked up.
Yes,
and that you only have so many that you can carry behind you before you can't pick up more stuff.
Got it.
So that keeps you running back and forth, which is nice. And there are upgrades you can get along a playthrough that'll be like +1 carrying capacity. So that's cool. And then another thing that I liked was every so often you get to an area where it's a rest area that has a shop, and then two arenas to go to, where you will fight monsters in the arena under a time limit, and you'll gain a bunch of whatever resource. So like be gold or stone or lumber or whatever. And so you get to choose between two each rest stop, and then spend your gold at the store, which allows you to do it like buy more buildings and stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that reminds me a lot of Drop Duchy or a lot of these sort of like branching roguelite, like Slay the Spire, although maybe not so much on the double currency, but cool. Yeah, this sounds like a really, I want to say really fun game. I'm trying my hardest because we agreed. We have a gentlemanly agreement here at DLG where we don't click the link that someone is talking about because what I want is to listen through Taylor and to ask questions that you, as who are also listening in the audience, maybe likely have, so that we have the same perspective and I don't have like inside knowledge on anything. But I just want to see. Should I click
Go ahead, dude.
Can
Just
I click it?
Just click
it. Okay, I'm pulling it up. Oh, I didn't think it was going to be like this at all. It's like a Tunic. That's what it reminds me of. That sort of cutesy art style.
Yeah, I was trying to get to the cutesiness of it, but I guess I failed.
Yeah. Okay. So Tunic, and then it looks like a bit of a hack and slash with your hero too, or is that just resources? Okay.
No, you can you fight the monsters as well, and you pick up weapons along the way. You start with a sword,
this looks really
and then you
fucking
pick
fun.
up different types of weapons. Like I got a firefly jar that is essentially a bomb that leaves fire. I got a pistol that does more damage based on how much gold I have.
Right.
I got these ice rays that spin around me and damage everything they hit.
Okay, so a bit of a survivors like game.
Yeah, and there's exactly. It definitely pulls from that survivors genre. And then
it looks so good. 82% positive.
It's automatic too in terms of the I kept clicking to attack and to like mine or chop down trees, but I eventually realized I didn't need to. Once I got close enough to the tree, it just automatically started doing it. And one other
what
fun
have we become?
Aspect
They've taken our clicks from us,
I know.
Taylor.
But you can still click if you want, if that makes you feel better.
I think it does. Yeah.
But there's also one more thing I want to bring up, which are vehicles. There are like these mobile versions of the different towers.
Okay.
That you can find along the way and press spacebar and hop into, and then you get to drive around in this like
temporary god vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. And you just destroy everything, and then and their health bar slowly goes down, so you can't keep it very long.
Of course.
But when you're right before it dies, you can make sure you're facing a certain direction so it shoots off and then explodes and kills a bunch of stuff. And it's just so fun.
I love that. It sounds like, so Raw Fury is publishing this game I see on the Steam page. And lately, it's like every game Raw Fury publishes is good and interesting and has like a unique twist. So just watch out for that publisher if you see them. I think you'll maybe not be disappointed if you give them a chance.
I will say that I have two things to bring up, especially if you are going to try it. My first run was super, super easy, like too easy, as in my tower took 0 damage easy. And I think
the first one's free,
purpose,
Taylor.
But don't let that put you off. Keep going. It picks up, and it turns out there's alternate paths that you can take towards the arc, which is the end destination, that you unlock as you play. So it's not always the same path, which is neat as the replayability. And then a run takes about 40 to 50 minutes, which I found to be, it's not too bad, but it is long enough that it will very quickly suck up time. Like I sit down, I'm playing a couple of runs, and then I realize, oh crap, like 5 hours has gone by. Or, you know what I mean?
Totally. I totally know what you mean. Drop Duchy had long run times as well. and I voted it best game to play while you poop, like best game to play on the Steam Deck while you poop. And like, really, I should have caveated that with play this game over like 3 poops, because you don't want to
run
be there
that long.
You don't want to be that guy that's missing from his family playing drop dutchy for 40 to 50 minutes. No one wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for bringing this up. Oh, and sorry, maybe I should have asked this at the top, but what made you find this on Steam, or how'd you come across it? Was it just sort of random or suggested to you?
This was something that popped up as on Xbox Game Pass app.
Okay.
And it was just presented to me on there, and I clicked on it, and I thought, hey, this looks interesting. The download was small. Let's try it out. And then here I am.
Here you are, Xbox
really glad
Game Pass.
I downloaded it.
Saving the day. Okay, cool.
It's not that expensive either. It's definitely worth the
it's like
$8.99 they're asking for. So.
Or 11 Canadian decals, which also seems like a very fair price. Taylor, the game I played this week was called Masters of Albion. It's sometimes nice to have a bit of a weird game. I think that's my general thesis with this one.
Okay.
This is the Peter Molyneux God game colony builder. You play as, of course, a floating hand. There's like a little
disembodied floating hand.
Yes, you saw the cinematic then on the page where someone is like walking into a temple and stumbles and puts their hand on a tome, and then their hands get severed off, and now you are one of the hands. And I don't know what happens to the other hand. I assume that one's going to be your nemesis later in the game, but I haven't ran into it. This game has been marketed with a pretty intense level of customization. Like we saw shots where, you're changing the socks of your citizens and the shoes and the trousers and the pants. You're designing everything about sandwiches, and you're rotating your buildings and building them in modular sort of slices. And you're using your hand to like physically put them like you would build blocks or Lego.
Right.
And all of that was a great sell to me. I really enjoyed this sort of God game twist, where usually in a God game you're just managing systems like the weather, or you're telling maybe an army to go to
interacting.
Yeah, and this one you're sort of you're God, but like you're a micromanager. You're like, okay, actually you're going to wear green socks today,
right?
Right. So Peter Molyneux,
you're picking up and putting things down. Like there's a physicality.
Yes, and it feels good too. I was throwing some boulders around. I was like, ooh, this feels nice. Peter Molyneux, if you don't know who he is probably best known as the creator or the lead creative of the Fable series. The Fable series has an art style that Masters of Albion matches really closely, so it's familiar. But he also made these other God games, Populous, Dungeon Keeper, and Black and White. He's probably one of the most impactful game creators of all time.
He's right up there with the other big names.
Give me some names. Yeah.
John Carmack.
John Carmack, that's a name. Okay,
I think is a contemporary of him. I think of as a contemporary of him.
Right.
Creator of Doom. That those guys, like
those guys.
There's a few of them.
There's a few of those guys.
I mean,
yeah, for sure. His last game was Crypto Scam, basically. So it was marketed as one of those play and get paid NFT games. It's like, you can play this game and you're also going to make money on the side, right?
There was a bunch of those for a minute, and I was like, I don't know about that.
As if WoW and Star Wars Galaxies and every other MMO didn't already have gold farming where people could make money by playing a game or selling your accounts. Like, we've invented this brand new thing that we need this really costly infrastructure to. Anyways, NFTs are dead, and thank God. But that game, as an addition to being a bit of a scam, was also a bit of a bore. It was just like a bad game. As long as those NFT,
good.
Yeah, like a lot of these NFT games suffered from the fact that their monetization was weird and unknown and sometimes scammy, but also like the game part of the game
itself wasn't fun. Yeah, it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
A lot of them felt like underdeveloped games that they quickly made to justify the NFT scam.
Exactly. Yeah. It was all the rage a couple of years. It's kind of crazy that we're on the other end of that and we can look back with the knowledge because, I mean, I remember a time, was it Destiny? They were like, oh, these guns in Destiny are going to be NFTs so you can own them forever. Maybe it wasn't Destiny, maybe it was The Division or something, but I remember being like, what?
Some of the big publishers were getting on board, like Ubisoft was doing that, and it wasn't just weird scammy games. There were big games, institutions that were like making all these crazy promises about.
Well, they saw the dollar signs, I think, and they were probably pitched in a bar somewhere. Anyways, I don't want to, now I'm just inventing things, but it didn't work out. And so Peter Molyneux says he took the profits from that game, which, as I understand them, were not bad. And he spent them.
It made money.
Well, he spent them on making this game, which he says is going to be his last game. He's 66 years old, right? Like he's been making games for a long time. He had this one NFT sort of, it was an explorative game. And I think, to be fair, he's always made explorative games. And so if he was exploring with the medium, maybe we can forgive him a little bit for going onto NFTs. But he's making this game now. So Masters of Albion, I thought that, well, let's back up. Let's take a little bit of a bird walk. One of my first jobs was at a sandwich shop, Taylor. Do you know that about me?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that about you.
I was a horrible employee, like really bad.
Oh,
I would
really?
always, I would always
How
steal
old were
the
you?
18 or 19.
Okay.
I would always steal the ends of the meat and cheese because my boss told me to throw them out, and I was living on my own at that point, and I was like, I'm not this is precious. This is precious materials. Yeah. And we used to get hit so hard at lunch. I would struggle on the line. This line was the fucking, it was game time. Like you had to memorize 12 sandwiches, which honestly probably wasn't that tough. I maybe could have done it in an afternoon if I had been even a little motivated. But there used to be these cue cards in front of me, and I was the only person still using the cue cards after a couple months. Everyone else got trained up and memorized them. And all these people I used to work with a couple mean people. I can't believe you're using the cue cards. There was drama at the sandwich shop, right? Yeah. I dated someone else at the sandwich shop. It was a mess. Wow. But this game surprisingly brought me back to that moment because I thought this game was going to be a little bit about making sandwiches and food for your people, right? They had all those shots of you're making soup, you're putting rats and chicken in. And
I saw the trailer.
That's actually like kind of the game. Like you are a town that fulfills orders from other parts of the realm through this hot air balloon. And so your people work at a factory and a farm, and sometimes they need food, sometimes they need other equipment, and you design that equipment and those clothes and those food products based on what you think they want. So you would make a rat sandwich for someone who is like, comes to your shop and they're like a gutter person and they're like, I need 12 of your cheapest snacks for me and the boys who live in the alleyway. And you're like, okay, I think you can probably eat rat soup. I think you'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times that's exactly what they're looking for. And then, you try to discern through dialogue, basically what you would want to make people. And then they give you a rating, and that rating helps you buy better ingredients and expand your town. And like, that's the fucking game, dude. Like, and also zombies attack you at night.
Order fulfillment.
It's customizable order fulfillment that you as a hand sort of manage and design. And also you defend against frequent zombie attacks, which is just very strange.
Is there... Okay, that is... Like, why are there zombie attacks?
I don't That's not the same power that severed your hand also raises zombies to attack your town. I don't know what happens.
The idea that a town, like, there's a greater realm
yes,
that this town is in, and the realm is like placing orders there.
yes, via hot air balloon. Via goofy as fuck hot air balloon.
Via hot air balloon.
Yeah.
That they're like, hey, we need new uniforms for our chefs in the realm. And so you guys get on that, please.
Or the beggar boys need 24 sandwiches stat.
Yeah. That is such an interesting idea. Like,
it's real strange and weird.
It's
and
so weird.
Satisfying, honestly. Yeah. So I got to the point where I was rich enough to afford an inn for a permanent hero to stay. And my hero patrols around town and he like executes zombies that he sees. And he starts talking to other villagers. And I kind of get this feeling that like I am witnessing a fable.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like kind of close to the same graphics and you're curating.
Yeah. And there's this hero going around being the fable hero.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, not quite to that extent. He doesn't have like, I can just pick him up and place him wherever I want and tell him to do whatever. He doesn't have like the free will that you do have in the Fable games. He's not like marrying anyone in town either. It's not like to that extent.
That's too bad though. How awesome
that is
would
too
that
bad.
be?
That would be awesome.
I would love it if he just married a random villager and like
he buys just a property.
He
in
retires
town.
from being a hero and starts to, then he has kids and it's like witness his story. That'd be great.
That would be great. Yeah. So this is a bit of a weird one. I love city builders. If you don't know that about me, I love strategy games and city builders. I've played a lot of city builders and they're quite formulaic. Rarely, I would say, am I super surprised by a mechanic in a city builder game. A lot of times they have one really interesting gimmick, like in in Timberborn. They're playing with the water levels and your beavers. There's a game,
twist of some kind.
Yeah, there's a twist. There was a game about a mobile city that you have to land on different planets and upgrade as you go. There's like Drop Duchy. That was a really interesting take on like a Tetris city builder. But this is by far the biggest stretch that I have ever played. And that is, that's cool. Like, so it's missing a lot of even the basic trappings of a city builder game. In a city builder game, you expect a pause button, a double fast forward, and a quadruple fast forward. In this game, that doesn't exist. You just use your hand and physically move it around on a building, and the production of that individual building goes faster. Like that's how you speed up the game. It's goofy.
And you can only do it, of course, to one at a time.
To one building, and you lift rocks, you shoot lightning out of your hands, you do other creative things to like defend your base. You build like a rock wall or palisades. Your people, honestly, they all looked a little fucked up. There's just this like exaggerated art style that the Fable games kind of also have. And it's just I don't know.
Do they
the
look
vibes
like
are
really
weird.
English?
That's offensive, I think, to the yes, I think they do for sure. That they look a little English. I don't know.
Just because Peter Molyneux is English. I'm not saying English people all looked fucked up. I'm just saying that.
I think you were saying that actually. I think all of England should be on notice. Taylor's coming for.
I used to live in England. If you don't know that,
do you consider yourself an eighth English or like a percentage English?
No.
Okay,
I'm
so
mainly
why
Norwegian?
So why do you think you could make that joke about English people if you're not even?
I mean, I lived there. Spent my formative years there.
Okay, that's fair. Because of this game being so weird, can I recommend it, Taylor? I don't know. It's an early access game. It's an early access game, and that part is, I think, pretty clear.
Pretty evident.
Yes, the price point I think is good. It's like $22 Canadian. For this level of creativity and depth, that seems fine. Big parts of the game are idle. I like that they did this thing where the game has physicality. You have to move your hand to speed up buildings. You have to move your hand to do everything in the game. There's no a lot of city builders, you play through the UI. In this game, even to build buildings, you are picking up a blueprint and you are placing it on a plot. Like there's no shortcuts.
You're not using the UI at all.
I would say that's fair to say. Very little. And because of that, the game can kind of feel like an idle game at times because there's not these systems that have just been shown to be really useful in city builder strategy games. Like sometimes there's nothing to do. So yeah, you want it to go a little quicker.
And here I am. Hit the quadruple speed button because you're just like, I'm
on the factory shaking my rat soups for maybe 2.5 minutes. I'm like, okay, I think this intended gameplay. Surely I should be doing something else, but there's
something
else
other than like spinning it to go faster.
Yeah. Like, is this? I guess this is fun. On a trackball mouse, by the way, that would fucking hit.
There you go.
I mean, that's what I need.
That's probably what Peter Molyneux uses.
That is probably what he's using. Performance-wise, the game runs hot. I feel it on my leg. I'm like, oh, is she doing okay down there? I'm like, I hear it, the fans whirling. And
because this game does not look demanding enough to run that hot.
I would be so bold to say I think it might not be well optimized. I say that. I don't entirely know what those words mean. I don't know how a developer goes about optimizing a game, but whatever's happening here, my computer, she is hot. And it's a decent computer. I have 64 gigabytes RAM. I'm running at 5070. I have an i7 147,000 KF. I'm told that's okay. This is all fine, but my computer is
your computer is well beyond the recommended specs of almost any game.
Okay, cool.
So
and I'm worried about it.
The fact that it's struggling is concerning when this is not some bleeding edge game. It's not running 1,000 simulations at once, and it's not like realistic graphics. So
I remember I got Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds as a kid, and that was like an Age of Empires Star Wars skin, essentially. And if I played that game for too long, first of all, my computer was so hot. And sometimes it would just shut off, and I'd be like, "Okay, cool." But obviously as a kid,
I loved that game as a kid.
It was so good, but I had no idea I was probably doing irreparable damage to something in my computer, and that's how I feel like this. Like it's like uncomfortably,
it's not
warm.
Well, there are things devs can do to optimize. I'm not saying I am super in the know of all the techniques they use, but there are a lot of techniques that get used, and you can look at something like Doom 2016, which looks gorgeous, right? As a game, like the graphics are super good. It's fast paced. It doesn't have hangups. It runs at like 100 FPS all the time. Mm-hmm. And then you look at, another first person shooter game that doesn't look as good as Doom and runs worse. And it's like, the people who made Doom, they did something.
They got the magic secret optimization sauce, and it wasn't rats.
They know how to optimize texture streaming and all, various things, and
whatever they're doing. And some mechanics on this game are a bit rough too. The game is just overall, I would say, rough around the edges, in that it doesn't always do what you think it should do. I'm customizing a building and I'm placing a block down, and sometimes the block will just jump a block over, or I'm zapping a zombie with my lightning finger. And by the way, when you zap it, you make like the rock and roll sign. Your hand is like a rock and roll zap. And you're supposed to put the zombies in the middle of two of your fingers, and that's how you know you're hitting it. Sometimes my lightning bolt just goes wild, and it does damage to everything if it hits, and like it has environmental effects if you don't aim it right. So I'm like ruining everything because the lightning
doesn't seem intended.
It doesn't feel intended, at least.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's in early access, and I have no reason to believe that they wouldn't keep working on this game to optimize it and to fix these issues. If you are in the mood to play the most creative city builder you likely will ever play, and do a lot of repetitive motion with your mouse, this is the game for you. I could recommend it. If some of what I said you think Maybe this rat pie needs to cook a little bit more in the oven. That's probably a fair point too. And you can probably wait. The game is at mixed on Steam, which is part of the reason why I wanted to pick it up too, because, lately I've been intrigued by this idea that mixed means more than half of people like something and half of people don't. And so maybe there's something interesting, a creative decision that is interesting with the game that is worth investigating.
It doesn't have broad appeal, but it has niche appeal.
Potentially, sometimes. I think that could be
versus like a negative where it's like, no, pretty much no one likes it. But although, certain games that I really enjoy sit at mixed.
Yeah. And that's an interesting, maybe that's something that people haven't heard from content creators or even their friends. Like, I don't think a lot of people are playing games that are in mixed. I could be wrong, but a lot of people look for that validation on Steam. If the letters are blue, I buy the game. If the letters are red or yellow, I do
buy
not
the game. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm here to tell you, maybe sometimes you want to buy the yellow game.
You look a little further. And then there's the cases of review bombs and stuff. Like Slay the Spire 2 went to overwhelmingly negative recently.
That's crazy because
it's in this early access period.
I saw the headline and I haven't clicked through it, and I haven't.
It turns out it was the Chinese audience got really pissed that they patched out certain things, which changed the meta. Like they got rid of some infinite combos and changed the balance of some things, and thus changed the meta. And the Chinese audience was very, very, very upset with that.
Well, the people who made Slay the Spire 2 probably made $50 gigabajillion. So I feel like at least on Steam now they have the ratings are by your local language. So if a region...
You can filter it out. Yeah.
Is review bombing, that won't reflect.
Do that.
Yeah. Which is probably a good call because maybe people are mad that like the localization of something is wrong.
And it's a totally fair critique.
Yeah. And useful to the people in that region browsing Steam. Like, oh, don't want to play this game. But for the rest of us, maybe not so much of a big deal. Did you have any questions on Masters of Albion, Taylor, before we move on?
I mean...
Are you picking this up in a world where we don't do this podcast?
Honestly, not infinite time. This would be one I am in the wait and see boat of like, let it cook more in the early access, maybe wait for 1.0. Like a lot of what you've told me is really intriguing and I like the idea of it. But the roughness you're describing, I don't want to have to deal with right now. So
of course,
I think it's definitely something I'm going to wish list and see how that does, because I will say this is something that had piqued my interest just because Peter Molyneux was doing it. And
it's his last game, dude. It's like like Metallica farewell tour or something.
Well, and it's actually like getting done. Like some of his other games he's done like were really disappointing. Like post Black and White, post Fable, post Dungeon Keeper, like when he went independent, he had some really cool ideas, but then he kept like not getting enough funding or whatever, and turned out these kind of half-baked games that weren't fun to play.
Right.
And so there's a long string of those. And seeing this one, when I like first saw the Steam page for it and looked at the trailers and screenshots, I immediately could tell it's like, whoa, this is way further along than some of his previous games, and looks much more competently built than some of his previous games. So I'm actually excited for it, especially if it is going to be his last one.
Well, I hope that enough people pick it up. No pressure, by the way. I would not judge anyone for not picking this up, but I do hope enough people pick it up that the development studio can stay afloat and they can recoup their dev costs so that they can keep making this game. Because I do want to see what this game looks like when it's done. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And I would also say if the whole
Sorry.
If the whole NFT previous game thing is like putting you off, I would just say he wasn't trying to scam people. He's just that kind of super creative guy who likes to do new things, and he probably was kind of scammed himself, like, but by someone else who was like, yeah, this NFT concept is really cool, blah blah. So don't think that's a red flag.
Yeah. Yellow flag, though, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to play this week, Taylor? Or any
I
week?
want to play Planet of Lana 2.
Who's Lana?
That's what I want to find out.
Okay.
It's the sequel to the pretty critically acclaimed Planet of Lana. You don't have to have played the first game to play this one. Apparently, there's a bit of like a recap of the first game at the start of this one. It has really gorgeous art, and the soundtrack sounds really good. Like, visual presentation is top notch. And it's a kind of platform puzzle game. And it doesn't look too hard at, like, the platforming doesn't seem to need to be like super fast and precise. And the puzzles aren't seemingly like too hard. And since I haven't played a platformer in a while, that appeals to me. Like the idea of like kind of more casual platforming that isn't super intense. Then from what I've read, I looked at some reviews and stuff for this, and it seems like they just took a lot of the kind of criticisms they had from the first game and addressed them and stepped it up in those areas. Like, you know, in the first game, the platforming was even slower and more cumbersome and stuff. And a lot of people complained about that. And so they stepped it up, and now Lana is faster and has more abilities. And so it's a more dynamic platforming system.
Cool.
So I love seeing developers take feedback and then in the sequel, like actually addressing that feedback. You also have this cute little companion named Mio that accompanies you and helps you solve the puzzles. They can control enemies, and they have their own story and history to learn as well as Lana's. So I don't know. It looks gorgeous. It's in a genre that I haven't played in a long time, but used to love. And so it seems like a good kind of gateway into that in terms of like, I've been really into the narrative heavy games lately.
Yeah.
And so this seems like a good blend of something more mechanically intense than something like 1,000 Times Resist or a visual novel. But also still is heavily in narrative based. So
You've played some like exceptional games so far this year. Like you've played some of the best games of all time this year. Do you feel like this has that sort of potential?
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be at the level of some of the other games I played.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
In terms of its impact on me, that's my guess, but who knows? I mean, they can't all be the best game of all, like
they can't
top 10 games of all time. They can't all be that.
Well, 10 of them could be. I mean,
we do 52 episodes a year.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I don't know. It looks interesting, and the story looks cool, and the art looks gorgeous. So there we go.
Great. I want to play Space Haven. So this is going to be a 1.0 release of, it's like a modular isometric spaceship management game. Their last publish before the announcement of 1.0 was 0.224. They have been in early access for 10 years.
Oh my God.
So I thought, I was just doing the math, right? I was like, okay, we're at 0.2. It's been 10 years. So probably in 18 years, we'll be at 1.0. Like I'm
Right.
doing like and then they were like, no, we're going from
We're
0.2
from
to
0.2. Do you
And
know how long ago 0.2 was released? Like that last
maybe months ago, I'd have to look at the Steam
months
page, but I
ago?
think it was
Okay.
recent. Yeah. And
Not like years ago, though.
no, they've been consistently updating this game for the whole time it's been in early access. Uh, I've played this on the Steam Deck when I was on paternity leave, and Mara was sort of sleeping in my arms. I had the Steam Deck in front of me. And so there's a lot of nostalgia for that moment, and also a lot of time that I put into this game. I thought I had sort of achieved the end of content. Not really. There's, I think, almost limitless content. But as far as like the items and the components that I put on my ship, I felt like I was getting to the end of it. It was still satisfying, though, to tinker with systems. I made a new run where I tried to recreate the Rocinante from The Expanse.
Oh,
like
fun.
the visual look of it and where the cabin, I was looking at like a cross section, like, oh yeah, the cabin crew can go there.
Yeah.
It wasn't one-to-one because on this game, there's only one level for your ship. So some creative license was needed, but I think I made it pretty close. Since I've played, they've actually added a ton of features. And most importantly, you can now run your own galactic pit stop. So it's not just a spaceship management game. It's like a space station management. We're going from Star Trek The Next Generation to Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, which is really interesting.
That seems like a whole different type of gameplay.
It is, because now the ships come to you and you're,
Right.
on your ship, you were still managing crew and now you're managing staff. But it's exciting. And the game is so deep. Like it's a really well done management game, and despite its complexity, it's really easy to sort of get a hang of and see what you have to do. Something like Clay Entertainment's Oxygen Not Included is another satisfying management game that is way more complicated to like it's. I don't want to say it's onboarding because that game also onboards you well, but it's just the challenge is a lot more.
I get what you're saying. There's like grand strategy games, and then there's like Hearts of Iron. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It feels to me like that, where some it takes a minute to get the hang of the systems, and other is impenetrable.
Yeah. But so anyways, I love Space Haven, and I can't wait to give 1.0 a whirl.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to start from my save, I think, and hopefully maybe
I wonder if it'll still be compatible.
That's a good point. I guess we'll see. You can own multiple ships in your fleet. So what I'm hoping is I can hope to stop at a pit stop and then buy it or take it over and then just run the pit stop, and my rest of my fleet can just drift away for all I care. I'm there for the pit stop.
I gotcha.
But I want to keep my crew because I spent a lot of time on them and they're very experienced. That's what we are looking forward to playing. And now we're going to talk about what our community is up to. Taylor, listener questions.
So we have a couple questions that were from last week that we will answer now this week, because there was just too many last week for us to address all of them. The first one comes from Warconius. He says, do you guys like feet? Are you into feet stuff? Who has the best feet in video games? Can't say Amelia or Bobby.
I'm not into feet stuff. I rarely look at people's feet. I will, like, not on purpose. It's just I don't usually go down there.
Yeah.
Like, unless someone is lounging and their feet are up, then I notice their feet. Then I will look at their toes and stuff.
I'm not into feet stuff either. I don't see the like erotic appeal of them that a lot of people seemingly do. I'm neutral about them. Like, some feet are gross, some feet are not gross, and so I don't think they're all gross, for instance, but it's just kind of like, nah.
An extension to
they're there with elbows, for me.
Some people, to be fair, need to scrub their elbows, I will say. I notice elbows a lot more than feet. I'll go That's a really dirty elbow. I don't think they're getting there.
Interesting.
Sometimes people just don't get there. I
They're
think
more visible since they're not in shoes. Most of the time. But also, as far as best feet in video games, I mean, probably like Sonic, right? Like he's got massive feet.
They are so big and so fast.
Yeah.
Sonic or Tails. You like blue feet or you like orange feet, right?
Right.
You have your options, but
got those big chunky feet.
I'll co-sign on that answer. I like Sonic for sure.
All right. Next up, also from Workonius, Cyberpunk question alert. Cyberpunk has a few surprise castings. Who have you met in the game where you thought, hey, I know that person? I'll give some hints. There's a very famous game developer in the game, a notable game writer, influencer, journalist, musical artist from around where I live, the voice of a beloved Valve game, and quite a few more. Second to Death Stranding, Cyberpunk has a lot of guest appearances. Does that do anything for you? So I guess first is, have you noticed in your Cyberpunk playthrough any cameos?
So yes, if you're coming to this episode and you haven't listened to when I talked about Cyberpunk a couple weeks ago, I am trying to beat Cyberpunk for the first time and I'm having a blast. So that's the context for this question. Secondly, I saw fucking Hideo Kojima at the bar.
Nice.
I forget what his name was, but it
he's
was
there
weird.
At the bar.
Yeah, it was weird because I was like, is that? No.
And he also just seems like a slightly more detailed than the surrounding NPCs. Like they definitely modeled him a little bit more.
And
so he stands out.
Pretty sure I know who. Is it Lana Pierce who's also in the game? I think I've run into her. I haven't detected a musical artist from Vancouver, which is around where Workonius lives, or maybe Seattle. Maybe that's also close. And I haven't seen the voice of a beloved Valve game, and I don't think I've seen any more. But generally, I am an uncultured person. I don't know very many celebrities. I was surprised I even recognized Kojima, honestly. So don't depend on me to know where these are, but now that I have this question, I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes and ears out. Keep your
eyes out for it,
Yeah. You never know which side character just walking down the street is going to... I couldn't believe, because it's funny, Kojima also, if you use your CyberView, what's it called? It's not called CyberView, but whatever your CyberView is, when you can scan cybernetic objects and see descriptions of them, he has, I'm pretty sure it's a floppy disk or like a data pad on his body that is something to do with a game development. I was like, oh, it is Kojima. Because at first I scanned him. I was like, is that Kojima? Is it going to be his real name? And then I realized it was a chem, obviously. Or they didn't make the world where like Hideo Kojima was really still alive in Cyberpunk 2077 through like some magic.
He wouldn't be alive.
Well, through some magic cybernetic dust, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like that the second part of the question, does that do anything for you?
It did do something for me.
Seeing Kojima did. But on the whole, in other games as well, like you're not generally aware of the cameos.
Well, exactly. It's a bad question for me personally because I'm not aware. So
I will say that I do enjoy those kind of things. Cyberpunk had quite a few. I'm sure there's a ton I missed that I just wasn't aware of. But I like a good little Easter egg or a good little cameo, as long as it's done well and isn't like too in your face about it, or very obviously like, ooh, look who we got.
Do you think Ed Sheeran in Game of Thrones, where he's singing around the campfire, do you think that was too much?
That was too much.
Do you think like if Kojima was in this game and he was like making a game and there was like a weird sidebar that you couldn't skip and you would probably have the same opinion?
That's too much.
What were the Game of Thrones people thinking? I couldn't believe when he opened his mouth and started singing. I was like, no.
No, they're not going to do that, are they? No? Okay, I guess they are.
Okay, yeah.
And then we got one more from J. Beck Quest. What's one good and one crazy thing that happened at work recently? Christian, you go first.
Oh, geez. All the good and all the crazy things that happened to me, I can't talk about.
Can't talk about.
Not yet, because they're not announced. Something that happened recently with a game that has been announced that I've been working on called PAX, Post-Apocalyptic Courier Service, was that we had to delay our closed beta from the first 4 months of 2026, which we previously announced and people were expecting. And it was always kind of a bad feeling to have to do that. But, I worked on Homeworld 3, and that game was delayed, I think, 3 or 4 times. And I was so surprised that every time it was delayed, people just had the most positive reception. They're like, you know what? Just release a good game. Now, when that game released, a lot of people thought it wasn't good. So, there's always the, trade-off. Maybe the delay doesn't make the game better. But in any case, that also happened with PAX, where a lot of people were positive about the delay. And so that is a crazy thing, I guess, and a good thing that happened all in one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, have crazy things happen at work all the time because I'm currently working part-time at Walmart.
Nice. A famously uncrazy place.
Yeah. So one good thing that happened recently is that I got some recognition from my management about my customer service performance, and even had a customer the other day who went to one of my coworkers, not a manager, just thought she was a manager for some reason and complimented my customer service. So that was nice.
Great.
Crazy thing is just the other day, a woman collapsed right in front of me. I work at the checkout. I'm a cashier scanning groceries. There's a young couple in front of me. No, not older than like mid 30s at most. And they both looked healthy and, fine, like a little athletic, even fit. And this, I'm just scanning the groceries, having a conversation with them. And all of a sudden the woman just collapses and she hits her face really hard on the bag carousel.
Oh no.
And that was like, whoa, like one, it's super unexpected to have someone that young just collapse in front of you while you're talking to them. And then two, it was like pretty crazy because I had to go get the first aid kit and like tell the manager and tell someone else to get the electric scooter, sit her down, give her water, like help them out to their vehicle and blah, 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 blah. But that was crazy.
If I'm working at Walmart and that happens, where I'm from, every Walmart has a McDonald's in it. That probably is.
Yeah, mine does too.
Okay. I'm getting that person some cheeseburgers. I'm like, you know what? You passed out at Walmart. Congrats.
Have a cheeseburger.
3 cheeseburgers. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, cool.
The crazy things outnumber the good things.
Oh, that's tragic. Okay. Taylor, what are we plugging this week?
This week, I want to plug just leaving comments in general. Wherever you are listening, be it YouTube, Spotify, your podcast app, whatever, leave us a comment or leave us a review if you haven't already. But those comments really help us in terms of engagement numbers and whatever. But also, they're fun to read, and they don't have to be questions or concerns, or they could just be anything.
The best part about doing this show is hearing from the people who listen to it. And so any comment is appreciated. We've had, honestly, some pretty negative comments that I've been like, oh, that's good to know, actually. So, Don't feel pressure to be nice, but also don't feel pressure to be rude. Be yourself, whatever.
Don't be rude for rudeness sake. That would suck. But no, it's so fun. Like every week I check for comments, for the listener question segment and stuff. And whenever one pops up on a YouTube video or something, because I'll even check a couple weeks back, it's always exciting to see something there, even if it's not a question that I'm actively looking for, but just a general comment. It's always like that nice, and we always share them with each other.
Yeah, we have like a feel good channel in Discord. We're like, oh, someone said something cool and nice. My shout out this week is, like every week, to Truthbringer. He's our executive producer on Patreon, and he's really fulfilling this executive producer role because he's one of the people who have messaged us and said that the last couple episodes have had some issues with the volume editing. The sound balance just in general hasn't been very good. And so just want to say that we've heard you, Truthbringer, and everyone as well. Going forward, I think we're going to pay a little bit more attention to the audio editing and just make sure that, the show we put out is as good as the show that we have been putting out for the past year or so.
Yeah. It's really important to us that that the show sounds good and that is not difficult to listen to, or like you're having to change your volume for different parts of it, depending on who's talking or something like that. Obviously, if we're not doing that, then that's a problem, and we are actively working on fixing it. We want it to just sound good, just turn it on and listen. That's it.
That is a show. My name is Christian, and joining me today was, of course, Taylor. Tune in next week because Amanda is back from her mousey adventures and is going to be playing Mouse P.I. for hire. Taylor, what's playing us out this week?
Yeah, playing us out this week is the engineer from Domekeeper. Goodbye.
Do. So peaceful.
This one, it's just like a relaxing lullaby.